This is episode 13 for Basil, our King of Thieves, for Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. Last time, Basil and the crew escaped from the bandit camp, relatively unharmed, and now they'll head into the Cloakwood Forest. Now, as a reminder, and I don't actually think this counts as a reminder because I didn't mention it last time, but at this point of the run, this will be a no reload run, meaning if and when Basil dies, it will be the end of the run. And I'm going to move on to my next run as a shapeshifter druid. So we're going to play a little bit differently. We're going to play more cautiously. We're going to make sure that we get this run done right. However, it also means that if companions die along the way, we're going to have to either trek back to a temple or leave them as they are. So, with that, let's go into Cloakwood. To start, the group is facing off against some Testloi. Testloi are basically just goons with spears. They're not very difficult to kill, although in large numbers they can be kind of nasty. We're also going to come across one particular Testloi that is going to have a cloak. And this is a magical cloak that in fact was referenced when we go into Baragos at the Juggler Inn. And it's referenced by a guy named Gurk. And this is his missing cloak. Now, it's not a situation where when you bring the cloak back, he takes it back. He actually lets you keep it because he likes the publicity of being humiliated. But he basically, he's annoyed at the Testloi for taking his cloak. And it's actually a pretty nice cloak, especially for rogues. I know Basil likes his cloak because his cloak is a charisma-enhancing cloak, and it also lets us charm people. But it's a good opportunity. It's a cloak of non-detection, which allows for thieves and rogues to basically go into stealth indiscriminately without worry of being detected by detect illusion spells or by a true sight or anything like that. So I definitely consider getting it and using it for a rogue or a thief. When you're moving along in the first area of Cloakwood, you're going to come across this guy named Koran. Koran is a fantastic thief, and I definitely encourage you to take him. He's a fighter thief, actually. Is a fantastic thief and a fantastic archer. Again, I encourage folks to take him, but we have a full party, so we're not going to worry about taking him on this run unless like Emowyn or somebody else completely dies and is scattered to the four winds. And with that, we're going to go ahead and make our way to the next big area of Cloakwood, and this is oftentimes nicknamed as the Spider's Nest. And Tiber here is asking to see if we can rescue his brother. He and his brother went off to try to get a magical sword that could kill spiders, which is very interesting. I mean, we have such magical weapons here. They're called newspapers. And you can use, and basically you can use this sword, and it's actually a pretty good sword, so I think it's a good idea for us to get it. And it's going to be at the center of the spider's nest. Of course, we're also going to try to see if we can save his brother too, but let's face facts. This poor brother is screwed. Emowyn is going to detect traps. She's going to be pretty key in detecting traps throughout all of this area, and also in whatever mines we run across later on. Also, antidotes. Antidotes are going to be very, very, very useful because lots and lots of poison damage is going to be done, and that is not a good thing. We're actually going to take a little bit of time here to rest, and before we do, Basil's just going to go ahead and set some traps in case we get ambushed in the middle of the night. Do we get ambushed? No, we don't get ambushed. It's now night, and we can move about. There's a lot of different ways that you can go in this area. If you go to the northwest, that's kind of the main route through the area, but if you want to explore and kill spiders and get tons of XP, then we're going to actually going south is probably the better option. We're going to go south, and actually the nice thing is that there is a +2 scimitar that we can find down here, along with a magic ring that you don't want to put on. The other inhabitants, I've made mention of course, spiders, but the other inhabitants of this area are called ettercaps. Ettercaps are kind of tough critters that have a nasty poison attack. And they're also immune to web and whatnot. They're basically like humanoid spiders. So definitely critters that you want to take out as quickly as possible. And even one can be a little bit scary because their poison is really nasty. It's good that we have Kagan taking the lead. He's going to attract any of the front of the damage while we, of course, hit them with missile damage. Although we may want to shift that up a little bit later on, either putting Minsk up front as well, or having multiple people, having Kagan firing from a distance as well. Get as much distance between us and the enemies. So there are giant spiders, huge spiders, and I think the main ones are huge spiders, and they're pretty easy to take down. Giant spiders are basically just bigger, tankier versions. Then we got phase spiders. Phase spiders are particularly nasty, and that is really bad. Okay, so phase spiders, as you can guess, teleport. Why is she... Okay, that is really stupid. I think we can get an antidote for her. So yeah, as you can see, MON has bit it. So, and we almost lost Dynahair as well. So this is really bad. If we were to continue going through this area, we would probably find a lot of issues. I don't think I have any potions that can help to detect traps. Otherwise, I would just try to detect as many traps as possible and then make our way through. But we really don't have that flexibility here. I'm weighing my options, and with find traps of only 15, I just don't have that many options. So the best thing for us to do is to head out and resurrect MON, and then come back into the forest, which sucks. But it happens from time to time, and, considering that this was just one lucky blow that hit the one person that could detect traps, yeah, that's kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So we make our way past Tiber, and we head out of the area, and we can go straight to the Friendly Arm Inn. We're pretty lucky that we didn't run into any ambushes along the way. By the way, Cloakwood is infamous for having lots and lots and lots of ambushes, particularly from ettercaps and spiders and things that are even worse. So let's go ahead and over to the temple and resurrect Emwyn, get her back up to life. We'll go ahead and rest here at the Friendly Arm Inn, and then we'll be set to head on our way back to Cloakwood Forest. We're actually going to hit up the first area first, and from there we're going to head over to the Hunter's Lodge. There's one thing I didn't do that can actually net us a bit of experience, but it is going to be a tough fight. So the first thing we're going to do when we arrive is set down some traps. We're going to set down the live traps, and then we will rest and set down more traps. We're going to talk to Aboleth here. Aboleth is a He is a noble in Baldur's Gate, and he and his buddies were hunting. And when they were hunting all around the Cloakwood Forest, they came upon some druids. These druids were particularly hostile, and he wants some protection. So the druids will come out. Once we agree to protect him, the druids will come out, and they will basically threaten to kill Aboleth. And we'll be like, hey, maybe we can come to a peaceful resolution. And you know what? That's not going to happen. Syniad is not interested in peaceful resolutions, and we're going to have to fight him. And we take him down pretty quickly. Aboleth thanks us. He gives us a potion of heroism, and we net a nice 2,000 plus the 4,000 from taking down Syniad. So it's not a bad deal. Ring is practically useless. It's a ring of charm animals, so we're not going to worry too much about it, but it'll be nice to identify once we get to it. Sure. We head north again, and we head back up to the spider's nest. Hopefully we don't run into too much trouble. Hopefully we don't get ambushed. And we got ambushed. The big thing is getting Dynahair and the softer targets out of the way, while Minsk and Kagan can tank, and everybody else can shoot bows and arrows. Dynahair takes a hit, but it looks like no poison. That's good. That would be bad. Losing your mage is never fun. Thank God we are stocked up on antidote. Alright, let's head back. We're going to head back to that second area of Cloakwood. And we are once again going to head towards the south, trying to avoid the traps. Of course, we are going to run into huge spiders in this area. Take out the space spider as quickly as possible. It's probably going to come to our back lines. We're going to try to spread everybody back here out. Fortunately, we have Minsk back here. I think that's a good strategy, is keeping Minsk shooting at first, and then we're keeping one person in the back shooting, either Minsk or Kagan. Kagan, of course, losing his axe. But the nice thing about throwing weapons is you can use them as melee weapons as well. Lo and behold, we get hit by a trap because I was not paying attention. This is why I don't play too many hardcore runs, because I suck at the game. I've been playing it for only 24 years, folks. With that, we finally get everybody out. The web is still up. This is what all the traps are in this area, is their webs, and it's really, really bad if our guys get caught in the web and the spiders are right there, and then they will do some nasty damage to us. There we go. I think there's another one in the immediate vicinity to the northwest. I think there's another phase spider around here too. Should we keep our distance at first?
Yep, this way.
There we go. We can go ahead and use this little buff. This gives M1 a temporary boost to dexterity. And if we go north, we don't find any more spiders. There is this waterfall here, and just north or just up the waterfall, you can actually cross it, but we're not at that point yet. So let's go ahead and see what's through here. This is a sword spider. Sword spiders are kind of just super fast, and they get a lot of attacks per round. However, I find them to be relatively squishy. They go down pretty much as easily as any other spider. And if you look really carefully, you'll see to the north that there is the... Oh, did I get another trap? I hit another trap. Anyway, to the north there is the actual spider's nest. Fortunately, we killed the spiders in this guarded area, so we can move on in here without any risk. Get Dynahair out. Alrighty. So this spider's nest has obviously lots and lots of spiders. It also has a rather unfortunate individual who has been transformed into their, I guess, their spider queen. So we're going to go ahead and buff the party.
You point, I punch. Go pester someone else.
Inside, there is Central, or Centiol, along with sword spiders, ettercaps. I don't know if there's any phase spiders in here, but they're all pretty nasty, and they can all do lots of damage to us, and they're going to rush us right away. So we're going to try to summon some skeletons and see if we can stop them.
You're a queer fellow.
Of course, Viconia has some experience with spiders, being a drow. The drow worship a spider goddess named Lolth, and Viconia is actually a worshiper of Shar. So it's a different goddess. So now we're gonna get into this fight. Fortunately, Basil was able to get himself cloaked, so we're gonna try to see if we can have him stealth around and maybe backstab somebody. We're being pretty lucky as far as our saves go here. Saves with damage done. Viconia, of course, is in the middle of combat, and that's not really where I want her to be, even if she's buffed by Draw Holy Might. We did get those 2 skeletons summoned, and skeletons are kind of just a general all-purpose good summon because they have a lot of immunities, things like poison and cold, and they're very resistant to like piercing and slashing damage. So they're a good summon to have. They're probably one of the better summons in the game. With that said, we're gonna go ahead and try to have more magic to take care of our flank. Basil's gonna try to backstab. Centiol, of course, gives up. She refers, by the way, to a guy named John Irenicus. He's important. That was actually a change from the original game. The original game, I think, had a guy named John something else, and they changed the name slightly. So how we know about John Irenicus is a great question. And you know, because we're such good people, we're gonna fulfill her wish. She's dead. And now we're gonna loot this nest. Look who it is. It's the would-be adventurer. It's the would-be adventurer and also the sword. Of course, the would-be adventurer is super heavy, but fortunately, we have the one of the strongest companions in the game. And we reveal that the sword is Spider's Bane +2, which gives the wielder free action, meaning that they can't be held or slowed or hastened in any way. So, you know, take that as you will. So once we leave the spider's nest, we're going to head back to Tiber. And because they worked so well for us earlier, we're going to go ahead and summon some more skellies. Like a regular necromancer. They'll kind of take up our front. Emwyn's going to detect traps. She is now even better at detecting traps because she did level up. By the way, in case you're wondering, I am not going to dual class her to mage in this playthrough, just because I don't think that she makes a very good mage this far behind. I think that she would do much better as just being a good thief. Don't worry though. In Baldur's Gate 2, she's already turned into a mage, so it's not that big of a deal. And we see that there are Eder caps up ahead. It's good that we sent those skellies up ahead. Kagan, no. We don't want you to... Yeah, actually, I want him to stay behind.
You're a queer fellow.
And there's a spider up there. A giant spider this time. So it's a big tanky fella while we take on this group of Eder caps. It's not the last time we're going to be ambushed wildly in this wood.
I don't want to talk.
And Basil, I want you keeping your distance. And with that, no issues.
What you want?
Let's go ahead and detect the traps. After some time, we find that first trap, and there's 3 other traps in this immediate vicinity, each protecting this little alcove here, surrounding the, I think, 5 Eder caps. So if you were to come from the other direction, if you were to come from the south, you would, of course, run into this area regardless. So it's a nice little kind of microcosm of what Cloakwood is. It's a rough place to go. So we got more huge spiders. Take them out pretty easily. And then we're going to make it back to Tiber. Bring Tiber's body, but we get to keep the sword and the ring, which by the way is cursed, so don't wear that ring. It's like the Ring of Folly or something like that, which is very fitting because maybe his brother was wearing that Ring of Folly when they decided to charge into a spider's nest. Regardless, we're going to go ahead and we're ready to move on to the next area. Actually, you know what? Since we need more experience points, let's go ahead and head and explore this area even further. There's one little area that has more phase spiders, and while it's a little bit dangerous, we can go ahead and get some nice XP for taking out those big nasty fellas. So remember I mentioned the waterfall that had the path around it? Well, we're going to go ahead and try to find that waterfall, and across the waterfall there's going to be phase spiders, and we'll kill them. They go for 1,400 points a pop, which by the way is the same as a lesser basilisk. So that's pretty nice XP for just a Bobo that we can take out pretty quickly with missile weapons. And there they are. Oh yeah, whew, okay, well he's dead. Knowing that that's where he's going to teleport, we want to make sure we're careful having Basil right there. Yeah, well, I mentioned this is going to be a no reload run. I don't want to be redoing that right super quickly. So
Queer fellow. I've done had enough of this.
So we explore down here. There's nothing really down here. But with that should actually clear out this area. So now we're ready to move north to the rest of Cloakwood. That'll be it for today. In the meantime, feel free to check out my other starter videos or my kit reviews or my other playthrough videos. If you like the video and you like what you see, please make sure you give the video a like, or if you have any questions or commentary, leave them below. And if you like the channel, go ahead and subscribe. For now, take care and good luck. We're all counting on you.